Destructive wildfires are spreading on the Hawaiian island of Maui. At least 53 people are confirmed dead, and more could have been lost in what is now one of the deadliest disasters in Hawaii's history. Well, joining me now live is Australian Emma Wheatley, who moved to Maui in 2016 and owns the Pizza Madness in Maui. Emma, really appreciate your time. I can't imagine what's happening there on the island. Can you talk us through your experience with these fires and you know, you look like you're in a safe place. What's it been like in the last little while?
Yeah, so it's definitely been very somber and eerie around the island today. The last few days have been pretty crazy. We spent a few nights just sort of waiting to see if the winds were going to change, and lucky for our sake they did. So on one part of the island, the winds changed and our little township was saved, but unfortunately there were 3 different fires going off all at the same time, and there were only 100 firefighters that were able to be deployed. So they hit the main areas. So they went up country to the Olinda fires, which affected some of my friends' homes. They were able to evacuate in time, but they evacuated about 8 hours or so before the fires hit. So those people were really well prepared. They went up with chainsaws and helped, cut through a lot of the trees that had fallen on the roads and got some people out. But the Lahaina fires, they weren't so lucky. If you're familiar with Maui, that area is one road in and practically one road out. So when that hit, it was very dry temperatures, and yeah, it just soared through. So anyone that was part of the Canberra bushfires or the Victorian bushfires are aware of how quickly that just, rips through the township. And we've been on a drought over here, so that obviously affected it a lot too. How dry the debris or the areas were. So yeah, it just ripped through really quickly, and people were given very little warning. And that area, like I said, it's one road in, one road out. So they just had to unfortunately hit the waters and try and swim out as much as they could. And yeah, some people didn't make it.
You mentioned that the comparison you made between the fires here in Australia, both here in Victoria, elsewhere around the country, and what you've been seeing in the last couple of days. Do you feel the authorities have got control of the situation or are getting some form of control, or is there a need for more resources to get in there quick, smart?
Once word got out on how severe it actually was, and once the National Guard was deployed, it was a completely different scenario. So all of a sudden there were, the huge aircrafts doing the water bomb drops. So that made a huge difference, and that's still making a difference now. Like, we were just watching them a couple of hours ago, doing the water bomb drops that they weren't able to do a couple of days ago. I believe there's still some fires. I mean, all 3 of those fires are still going right now, but most of them are about 70% contained. So they're doing the water bomb drops. They're just on the ground in Lahaina, just scraping together whatever they can. It's pretty bad how it looks over there right now. On the west
and there's
side of
also,
Maui.
Emma, the community's really rallying around. There's silent auction donations. There's all sorts of things being pulled together. What have you seen today?
Yeah. So there's the Humane Society, which if anyone's familiar with Maui or Hawaii, there's a lot of stray animals that are here. So the Humane Society is at capacity, so they need a lot of funding. Otherwise, they're going to have to euthanize animals. And the Maui Food Bank is an amazing resource to go and donate funds too. Obviously, if anyone's on island, like non-perishables and stuff like that is really good there. But the Maui Food Bank, the Red Cross is doing an amazing job. Those are the three best places from what I know. I know there's probably a lot more smaller organizations that are going, but those are the three sort of big ones that if anyone is able to donate to, those are going into the people that need them right now. It's hard to tell what's sort of needed right now. Like our restaurant, we've got a non-perishable food bin that you can go make donations to, and I know the Maui Brew Co. That, again, if you've ever been to Maui, you know that, or Hawaii, that's a huge establishment. They're taking a lot of donations, but there are so many ways that people can make a difference over here. And if you're coming from a distance, then it just has to be monetary. Like, that's what they need. And then they can figure it all out where it's going to be allocated best. Things like just, getting gas to Lahaina so the emergency services can be able to facilitate an evacuation of the tourists that are over there. There was a lot of petrol stations that were blown up. So when the fires hit through there. So, just little things like that is going to make a huge difference. I believe they've taken approximately 14,000 people off the island so far. Most of them obviously tourists. They're just trying to get over to Oahu, to the convention center, and then they'll, either stay on with their vacation or go back home. But I definitely think, a month or so down the line, this island's going to need the tourism back. So I don't think this, and that's a mutual opinion from a lot of the locals on the island. Like, just if you've got an immediate trip, cancel it. But if you've got something in the near future, keep it. Keep your vacation booked, your holiday booked, because the island's going to need that tourist money.
Great message there that you're sending, Emma. Really appreciate your time. Please stay safe, and all the best to the people there on Maui. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.